Post-fight call-in show. G Funky Boxing of HCP being joined by my man D Style. The band is here. Hit me. That's right.
You know, Harley Quinn was
bring the
dancing. I don't know
fun.
if you saw, but she was in the poster. She was like,
What's going on, guys? Post-fight style here, man. Taking phone calls live. Had a busy day of fights. You guys see the thumbnail here. It's a battle royal. Look at that, D-Style. I mean, it's a Royal Rumble.
that's right.
Unless you're Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction, and it's a Royale with cheese.
I got you. Jesus Christ. I can't believe a lot of the shit I saw today. Great. Yeah. It was fun though. It was good. It was a good night to be it was a good day to be a boxing fan for sure.
Indeed it was, man. Faux Texas here says, bro, Fundora is a cheat code. We're going to talk a lot about that. Max in the house, shout out to HCP. Lubin's face is just that face was grotesquely swollen. I mean, we talked about this the other day, a death of 1,000 jabs by Triple G. This was a death by 1,000 uppercuts by Fundora, man. That was an incredible fight, though, man. Credit to both guys. They put on a show tonight for the fans. You could possibly throw that in for fight of the year. Both guys go down, they get up, they continue to fight. Really good fight. We got a lot to say about Ryan Garcia. So we talked about Golovkin earlier. When I open up the phone lines, if anybody wants to call in and talk about Golovkin, they can as well. But right now, we're going to talk about the two main events on the Zone and PBC. So let's talk Ryan first, man. Now, look, I stopped scoring this fight after round 7. I had him winning every single round. And Tagoe, very frustrating. But Ryan was frustrating as well. You know, a lot of things I felt he could have done better to get to Tagoe. And I didn't see it happening, man.
Tagoe's got to go. That's all. I'll say that right now. He's got to go. How are you going to show up? Like, how do you finish a fight and make people say, I never want to see that dude fight again? You know, like, how does that help your profile? How does that help you get other fights or the paydays? Like, come on, bro. You got to show up to win.
Exactly. No, I agree 100%, man. I don't think he was there to win that fight. I think he was there to go 12 and not get knocked out. Ryan's on a knockout streak. And look, he survived 12 rounds, but it was frustrating. It definitely was frustrating. And for me, what was more frustrating was Ryan Garcia. Now, I understand this is his first camp with Goosen. They have a history, right? But I needed to see a lot more jabs, changing more speed on the punches. And again, setting up a jab will set up that damn left hook. He's so busy trying to load up on a lead left hook the entire time. And it wasn't there. It was too telegraphed, in my opinion, a lot of the times. More feints. I needed to see better cutting off the ring. This guy was moving so much. A lot of work needs to be done here for Ryan, man.
Well, you know what I'm going to say.
Go ahead, brother. Burn, because we're going to open up the phone lines here in a few minutes. Burn it.
I'll be very brief about it. Look, Tagoe's got to go. Okay. I mean, I can't stand fighters that don't show up to try to win. Like, what are you doing? Like, I can respect Campbell because he came to win. You know what I mean? I can respect a lot of the guys that maybe Ryan did knock out, but they came to win. Like, what are you doing? So, okay, so you survived. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, look, I made him look bad because he could have knocked me out. Yeah, but if he looks bad and he beats you, how do you look? You know, so like my level of frustration watching this fight, it wasn't that bad in the first 2 rounds because I figured it is honestly the smart thing to do against a puncher in the first few rounds, you know, just kind of stay away from him a little bit, you know. But why does Ryan come out and like it's just like what, dude? So are you really going to just try to knock his head off in the first round like that? Yeah. I'm sorry. At this level, guys know what to do to get out of that first round if you do that. Okay? Like, it's not going to happen. It's very unlikely. The ones that do happen, they kind of just happen. Like, you catch them like cold and it happens, right? Can somebody tell me where the hell, I swear to God, that jab of Ryan Garcia should be in the back of a milk carton. Okay?
Yes.
I don't know where the fuck the jab was. And this is not a new problem, by the way. And I don't want to
No,
hear,
not.
wow, Joe Goosen didn't. It's because he left Reynoso. Why he didn't do it with Reynoso? He's not doing it with Joe Goosen. Like, what's up with this dude? And what's with the zone? Like, why is Sinise Estrada saying I don't need a jab? And like, what do you mean you don't need a jab? Like one of these days you're gonna need a fucking jab, okay?
Yes. Yes.
But Ryan Garcia needs a fucking jab.
He
He's
sure
still
does,
stuck
man.
on those highlighted real knockouts he got, and he thinks he's just gonna get them. But doesn't Ryan Garcia know that these guys have already watched film on him and they know how he sets it up? So, and if you keep trying to set up the same way, well, I mean, dude, it's like he keeps trying to do the same thing over and over again. It's not going to work. Yeah. Cut off the ring, go to the body. You know, how about you feint a hook and throw a jab down the middle or something?
Yep.
You know,
and then when he
catches the guy and he hurts him a little bit, right? He goes into like wild man, like kind of similar to like Wilder, right? He goes into this wild man. He just starts throwing like a wild man, you know, and it's like, dude, good finishers stay really calm when they hurt a guy. Okay, Gennady Golovkin, we saw him earlier. He's one of them. Okay, they stay calm when they do it, right? Garcia's like heart rate just jumps through the roof when he hurt a guy with a good punch. Like, dude, you need to calm the fuck down, bro. Okay. And I don't know what the fuck Goosen could do. I don't know if anybody could fix this not throwing the jab problem. Okay, I don't know what they could fucking do. That is, bro, that's boxing 101, but that's the first fucking punch they teach you.
Right. And it was absent all night tonight. And I agree with everything you say here, Mark Nash. Didn't cut off the ring well, didn't jab, didn't work the body, and was loading up too much. I agree 100% with that, man. And that's why a jab is so important. If you're trying to land a big power left hook, you set it up with the jab. You know, if you could get it out there and stick it to him a few times, then you start to feint with it. Then you could change it up, make him think you're throwing a jab, and you turn it over to a left hook, or fire some good right hands straight to the body, or and the chin. I agree with you too here, Max. The chin still in the air, still too straight a lot of the times. There was a part in round 3, I think, and a few other rounds mixed in between, where he actually did come in high guard, chin down, had a good wide stance, and I was like, okay, look, this is what I want to see right here, right? But then he abandons it right away, and it was gone. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of fucking work. A lot of fucking work.
I'm glad Sinise pointed out, by the way. Sinise pointed out he needs to get that chin down. Like,
yes.
Because I feel like maybe people need to hear fighters say it, so they're not saying we're just making shit up. Like, bro, like tucking in your chin is like boxing. Like, this is not. And I don't know if it's not just boxing, but sports in general, man. A lot of these high level athletes, they're missing the fundamentals. It's like, just because you don't need it most of the time doesn't mean you stop doing it. You know what I mean? And I think that's Ryan's problem. He's been used to just having the chin up here and be like, and boom, not gonna do it out. And he thinks he's gonna be doing that all the time. No, bro, that's not gonna work all the time.
No, you're right. It's not. You got to change. You got to be creative. You got to change things up, man. That's a part of the game, man, and I'm not seeing that enough. Holy crap! I'm looking at some images here of Lubin's face. Oh man.
Dude,
he is
good call by Cunningham. By the way, that was a good call. If anything, he probably did it a round too early, but I think the knockdown kind of made him have to, I guess, keep it going. But
yeah,
the knockdown might have been the worst thing that could have happened, because like it left him in the ring longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. My scorecard for that fight. Now that was a hell of a fight. You could throw it in candidate for fight
of the year for me.
Yeah, we could give him a hand for that one. That was a fantastic fight of the night.
I don't know if it'll be fight of the year because the ending is a little underwhelming. You know what I mean? But it's front runner at least. I mean, if it's top 2 at least.
Yeah, what's going on out there to the boxing historian? Shoe Shine, No Paul. Thank you guys all for stopping by. We appreciate it. Jesus M, Stefan, all you guys, man. We appreciate it. Hit the like button.
You can call us with your cell phone.
Yes, we're gonna be opening up the lines here.
Talk to us about the fights. Call us on a cell phone. I'm saying, you know what I mean?
Long live boxing here as well. My scorecard read 76-74 for Fundora after 8 rounds. I don't
even know how you scored that round.
I'm
like watching 2 fights, and I'm trying to watch the Mikila Mayer post fight. I'm trying to I didn't score shit. I didn't score shit.
I didn't watch the ESPN card. I'm gonna go back and watch that tonight. But like I said, after round 7, I stopped streaming the DAZN on my TV, and then I just put on the PBC main event because I was like, okay, you know what? This fight
You know
here is
why?
not even worth watching like that. It's just the same thing over and over again.
You know why? Because Tagoe has got to go. That's why. Ain't nobody want to see that dude again after that performance. What's that dude?
No, I don't think so. And yeah, I did see Xander Zayas in the corner. That was a little odd to see that. But shout out to Xander, man. Big supporter, and he's been on the HCP shows several times. We the bright young man. And but yeah, I really like this fight, man. And not to brag or anything, but I'm 3-0 today on my predictions. All right. I had Golovkin, Garcia, and then I picked Fundora, but that was the toughest fight for me tonight, was to try to pick a winner in that fight, because Lubin is a very good counterpuncher, and we seen that. We seen he was landing some good flush shots in between a lot of those punches of Fundora. But the problem is, it just wasn't enough. I had a bad feeling about the output of Lubin and his chin. He was hurt badly at the end of round.
Well, he took a lot of punishment in that fight.
Yeah,
he took a lot of punches.
But
what
I'm talking about is early in round 2 when he went down. Yeah. He was lucky that happened late in that round. I feel like he might have been finished.
Lucky. I think they're both lucky their knockdowns happened early.
Yeah, late. Both of them were late in those rounds. But
Lubin especially. Like, Lubin didn't go down voluntarily. Lubin went down.
Yeah.
So,
but shout out to him, man. He got up, and he was hurt in the round that he put in round 7. He was hurt that round too, I feel. But he unloaded a vicious combination, man, and hurt him, put him down, man. Lubin is a warrior, man. That dude is a warrior.
I gotta say, and I understand that this is hard. It's easier said than done. Let me just say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Cunningham was giving him the right instructions. But of course, I mean, it's easier said than done, though. Like, I just want to make sure people understand, because I keep hearing people say things. I was listening to some post fights, and I was hearing people say things like, they were saying things like, "Oh, Lubin, he fought stupid. He fought bro." Like, I don't know how many of you play chess, but it's different when you could take your time, right? Versus you got a clock and you got to make a move in less than 10 seconds. You know what I mean? Yep. So he has this tall dude in his face throwing like 80 punches around, right? He's got to think quick. Every decision matters. Every split second, right? I thought he started the fight really good. One thing I didn't consider was the straight of Lubin to the body was like a non-factor, because they're both in that southpaw, and he wasn't able to kind of get it in there, right? And Fundora did a great job kind of keeping his hands like right here to kind of, I don't know if it was on purpose, but he couldn't shoot that straight, right? So Lubin had to kind of throw hooks on the inside to get to the body. I think he did a good job to the body, but just not enough. And also he exerted so much energy recovering from that second round that by the time he recovered, he had already exerted so much energy that he was not going to go 12. You know what I mean? So he had to get the knockdown. He was landing the shots I felt he would land, but Fundora wasn't going anywhere. Like, he was just eating those shots like nothing, bro. Like the way I eat like a hamburger. Like he was just eating them like nothing. You know what I mean? So that was something else. Now, he did knock down Fundora, and I got to give Fundora credit. I mean, it's not often fighters admit this, but he's like, I took a knee because it might have not been good for me if I didn't. I was kind of surprised he admitted that, but he took a knee, made sure he recovered, got out of that round, because I think he realized I already invested enough, and look at his face, right? And the words of Juan Manuel Marquez, look at his face, right? So that face was swelling bad, bro. Before the knockdown, I said, yo, they got to probably stop this fight.
Yeah, I agree.
But here's a big criticism I have. Where the fuck was Answell? There was no Answell. There was no. I don't think they managed. I'm not saying it would have made a difference. They might have bought a round or two more, but what's up? Well, what's up with Answell? You know what I mean?
Right. We got a first caller on 206, man. You're live, brother.
What's good with it? What's good? What's good, D Funky? What's good, D Sound?
What's going on, brother?
We're doing good,
What's
man.
up?
We enjoyed a nice night of boxing, a nice day of boxing. Give us your thoughts, man. What did you want to talk on? We could talk about any of these fights, and you know, what I'm saying?
Man. I got two thoughts, man.
He called us on the cell phone.
But yeah, Ryan Garcia, very underwhelming. I mean, he looked nice in the first 3 or 4 rounds, and I ain't gonna lie, because I had the UFC live stream on as well, so I was like, you know what, man, he should have got this guy up out of there in the 4th or 5th round. And the fact that the dude was still able to fight back in the later rounds is indicative of this kid's lack of IQ. Like, difference between him and someone like Tank Davis. Tank Davis know how to fucking finish a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And not saying that Ryan Garcia ain't capable of doing it. He is, for sure. But this dude has his chin up in the air like he always does. He doesn't have a jab, to cut off the damn ring. He doesn't have he's stuck in quicksand, I'm pretty sure Goosen did what he needed to do to help what he needs to help with this guy, but for the first 5 rounds it looked nice. It looked good. But the fact that this cat, look, man, a guy running like that you could easily cut off, because if he's not throwing nothing back, then you plow right through his ass, man. And he didn't really do that. He just sat up there. He got hit a couple times, and he backed up and he tried to reset and shit. It just,
Terrible.
He won unanimously. But if you're fighting an overmatched guy who's pretty much brought in there to lose for you,
mm-hmm.
and you just allow this guy to run around and then get off a little bit, it's more indicative to the fact that you don't know what the hell you're doing in the damn ring. He got to have his ring IQ is below the basement by far. Natural ability, the natural speed, hand speed, the power, the hook is there. But I'm telling you, he's like Wilder. He, in a sense that he's an accident waiting to happen. He's an accident waiting to happen.
Good point.
Because he's going to fight someone who throws really good looping shots, and they're going to end up just going to stand in the pocket trading with this guy. He might get off and thinking that he got the guy hurt, and he's just going to counter over here and right this kid, and like his whole body's going to collapse. Telling you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Brian. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of, like, I think his success, like, when Bane told Batman, like, victory has defeated you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think when you succeed in doing things where you're not using, I don't think it's a ring IQ thing. I think it's a lack of fundamentals thing, which you could probably say is the same thing. Yeah. But I kind of separate both of them because I think it's a willing issue. I don't think it's a matter. He's capable of it, because when he was knocked out in the Campbell fight, he got up, survived, and he fought smarter after that. But he shouldn't have to get knocked down, almost knocked out, to then start fighting smarter. You're supposed to start doing that from round 1. But, like, I don't know, like him just kind of walk. He looked bored at times, just kind of like chin in the air, just like come on, bro.
Zero feints, zero setting anything up behind the jab. Very little head movement. He's in a mix between, he wants to go Philly shell, high guard sometimes. Like, fight out of the high guard, man. Just, I mean, I don't know. It's frustrating, man. But you made some really great points, Brian. I agree with a lot of what you had to say. Did you want to touch
Roy
on
Jones? He's in the Roy Jones against Dave Tony all the time.
Right. It was crazy to see that shit, man. But hey, did you see the Fundora Lubin fight, 206?
Oh, hell yeah, I did.
Give me your thoughts on that, brother. That was a firefight.
Oh man, and think of this. I was going for Lubin earlier in the week, but I was like, what, this big ass dude, man, has a really steady work rate. And he's tough, and I was like, let me go ahead and parlay that fucking fight with the UFC fight. Turned out I won about $500, man. Nobody thought.
Hey, give him a hand for that.
Got that Feria.
What's crazy is that when the fight the UFC fight it ended almost exact same time that the Fundora fight ended when Kevin Cunningham stopped that shit. But I mean the fight, I thought it was gonna be what it was, and I can appreciate. I love when guys fight in the damn phone booth. In other words, fight in either in the clinch or right in the grill, because you rarely see that.
Yeah.
And Fundora, as big and tall as he is, we know that the motherfucker is slow as shit. But he has power, and he has volume, and he has size, and he has a good chin, and he has pretty good power.
Mm-hmm.
So Lubin, I thought he would use a little bit of fighting on the inside and then trying to use the fact that he has faster feet and a better jab. I thought he was going to probably fight him in the pocket and try to use a little bit of slickness and use a little bit of, make him chase him around the ring and possibly tire him out. But no, he's in the pocket, which I thought that was a horrible idea. Because Fundora was winning pretty much majority of those rounds. He of course, I would say that he won 2 of those rounds, 2 or 3. But then, of course, he scored that knockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And Fundora, he looked kind of shaky a little bit, but that dude pretty tough, and he came back and just lacerated this man's face. I'm like, God damn, man.
It was ugly.
I don't even notice that.
Stop that shit.
Hey Brian, but you notice the lack of end swell. I don't think they did a good job, like in the corner with the face.
Trying to control that. Yeah.
They didn't do a good job.
Hey, who the hell was that? The same person that fucking threw the damn ice bag at Kevin?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that that'll be a crazy story if it was the cut man that did that.
Yeah. That was
like
really
you're the reason we're stopping the fight.
Yeah, but that was
a fun fight.
Yes, it was, man. That was a great fight, man. But
what's gonna go first, your face or your bate? I think it's the face. I think the face went first.
Yeah, exactly, man. But hey, Brian, man, I want to thank you for the call, man. Great call as always. And I want you guys to subscribe if you're not subscribed to the Boxing Historian 206 here on YouTube. Make sure you do that. And yeah, man, we appreciate the call, brother. And hey, congratulations on winning those bets, man. That's a good win. That's a good win for tonight, brother.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man. It was a great night of fights, not just boxing, man. So hey, but I had to call in and give my take, man, because you guys, you hitting on some points that I was agreeing with, man. So yeah, salute to GSP Funky.
That's
boxing,
right.
And salute to D-Style Boxing. Salute to Hispanic Cosmetic, HCP, man. Salute to y'all.
Right on, man. We appreciate it, man.
It's very difficult to fight somebody that is doing I don't want to use the term unorthodox. I kind of relate that more to like styles, but someone who's taking things they shouldn't be taking. Like no one's supposed to be just taking punches like that the way Fundora was taking them, right? Any other fighter takes those punches, they're out of there. But he's able to take these punches to a degree where it's like, yo, I'll just say one thing before we get the next caller on. The one thing I want to say is this. This dude, he ain't going to be fighting for long, fighting like that. Fundora's not going to be around for a long time. He's not. But until somebody cracks that chin, which they're going to have to do, he's going to be a problem. So if he's going to get a title shot, it has to be now.
Yeah.
ASAP.
I agree. We got my man Lion Killer on the line. What's going on, Lion Killer?
What's up, bros? How are y'all?
We're good, man.
What's
We're
going
just
on, brother?
excited, man. We had some good fights tonight. So what's on your mind, bro?
Nothing. I didn't get to catch the fights. I had some other stuff going on, but I did catch the highlight of Lubin and Fundora. I just caught like a 2-minute highlight of that. And the fight went exactly how I thought it would if Lubin wasn't able to establish himself. I'm just based off the highlights. So he ate an uppercut, and I know you and me spoke on that, G-Funky. We spoke about that fight last month, how I thought it would go.
Mm-hmm.
And looked like it was an inside fight.
Oh, yeah.
Fundora likes to go to the inside. I saw an uppercut drop Lubin. They said Lubin dropped Fundora. I hadn't seen that shot yet. I'll go back and watch the fight here in a little bit. I'm watching Chimaev versus Burns right now. But I think the Giraffe, he's going to go pretty far until he runs into the upper echelon fighters. I think that's where he'll have issues if he doesn't make adjustments. Lubin has a flaw. I mean, his chin is his flaw.
Yes, indeed.
And he leaves himself open at the wrong time, and he seems to always get caught. What is that? His third loss now, I believe.
Second.
Okay.
Both by knockout too. So
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, in several fights, he's displayed that he's very chinny.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't see a good future for Lubin unless he becomes a defensive master. It's the only way I can see it for him. He's going to have to become more defensive than offensive, because his offense first is not a good defense at all. I'm trying to think of the other. I saw a little bit of Michaela versus Han.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was putting the Beats by Dre on her after a while, and trying to see if I saw anything else. I haven't seen the Ryan Garcia fight, but that's probably the least interesting fight to me.
Wait for that one, bro.
it was probably some toilet roll who just walked in the arena. So
yeah,
they're not putting him in challenging fights. Who else? The Triple G Murata. Another one I don't think about. So, somebody told me that Murata was actually pressing him the first 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Before Triple G established his jab.
No, he jumped on him early, and like I feel like that was the right game plan, but he, like my man D-Style would say, he unloaded the clip in the first 3 to 4 rounds.
Yeah.
And once Golovkin didn't go anywhere, fight was over, in my opinion.
Right.
And Triple G took over from there and got the KO, and he's unified now. He's a unified guy at 40 years old at 160 pounds. So yeah, we'll see what happens from here, man. But yeah, man, great call. Appreciate you, man. We got a big fight coming up this weekend. I want to see if I can hook up with you and Nate and talk more about the Ugas Spence fight, man, because I'm really, really excited for that one.
Well, that's a crazy thing. I haven't received a nay or a yay or nay on the press credentials. I haven't received an email yet. I applied for that fight when it first dropped.
Oh, okay.
And me and several other people have not received emails for press credentials. So I don't know who else applied that y'all may have known. Do y'all know if anybody got their yes or no on the credentials yet?
No, I don't know of anybody.
Yeah, they were supposed to send the emails out on the 8th, on Friday, and nobody I know has gotten any. So it's really weird. And if this is something where we get credentials or get the answers on the credentials on Monday, I'm gonna do a live stream about it, because I hate bad business, man. I hate bad business. And you don't drop credentials the week of the fight, in my opinion. You do it the week before,
Yeah.
But that's the PBC for you.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. Thanks for the call, bro. We appreciate you, man. And guys, subscribe to the Lion Killer podcast here on YouTube, man. Thanks for the call, brother, and enjoy the rest of your night, man.
All right, man. Y'all take care.
You too, man. That was Lion Killer, man. Guido, go ahead and give us a call back, man.
I just want to say this, though. Like, I think, well, yes, he got hurt in this fight. He got dropped, but he did get up, and I believe he recovered, and he took a lot of punishment, and he took a lot of clean shots where, in my opinion, we can't just label him a dude with, like, I don't see Lubin as like another Amir Khan, in other words. I don't. Like, an Amir Khan would have been knocked out in like 2 rounds in that fight, in my opinion. Like, I think Lubin took look at his face. He took a lot of clean shots in the face to where we can't just label him a guy with a bad chin, in my opinion. Like, Charlo knocked out Harrison. He's knocked out a lot of guys, right? He's hurt a lot of guys. So getting knocked out by Charlo cold in the first round, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. I think Fundora won because he outgritted and outlasted Lubin. Like, his stamina outlasted. That's why he won. I don't think, like, I don't want to diminish Fundora's win by saying, he only beat him because he has a weak chin. No, I think some of us need to watch the fight to do a good analysis for it, in my opinion.
Yes, sir. We got my man Guido on the line. What's good, Guido?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, how y'all doing, man? Saludos, you know?
What's going on, brother?
man.
Oh, man.
What's on your mind,
How
bro?
you doing, brother? Oh,
doing good,
man,
bro.
I just want to say this is a great night of Saturday, bro, you know? I mean, great night of boxing, bro. I mean, see, I missed the Fundora fight, but I predicted Fundora was going to get the stoppage anyway, you know?
Yep.
But, man, when I just seen Lubin's face, my goodness, bro. Looked like he got hit with a baseball bat.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
he got hit with so many uppercuts tonight, and that's one thing
Left and right.
Yeah,
Left and right uppercut.
That's one thing I stated in my prediction was
Yeah.
when guys
Yeah.
put pressure on Lubin, he goes to that high tight guard. Now it's a good defense, don't get me wrong, but there are holes, and when you have a guy that throws a lot of volume and you shelled up like that, he's gonna find a hole in there eventually, and that hole was literally right down the middle, and he was just
And you know
boom,
what
boom, boom.
Yeah, and D Funky. If you know what's the first punch I dropped him was the uppercut.
Yeah,
And that's what Fundora's really good with the uppercut. So that's what I picked. That was the reason why I picked him. You know, a lot of people pick Lubin to win. I'm like, what do you guys see? You guys don't see the Fundora is just relentless puncher. You guys think that that's the way he fights. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
People want him to fight like outside. No, he fights the inside.
Yeah, the kid likes to fight.
Mexican style.
The kid
But
likes
Guido,
to fight,
how long
bro.
do you think it's gonna last though? Like, what lifespan do you give this guy in boxing? I don't think it's gonna last. No, like I don't think he's gonna with this style. Yes, it's for a couple fights. You're gonna give a lot of guys problems, but for how long can you do this?
Fundora, and I just think these times, asking your question, I think he just got to work more of his head movement. Just work a little bit more of your distance. Maybe he'll learn from this fight after getting dropped in the 7th round, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you should just make a little bit more adjustment, make it more harder for your opponents to reach to you. And other than that, I think he has a lot of potential. You know, the kid has a lot of potential, has a lot of talent. You know,
I agree.
And I love the way he don't give a damn. He just want to go in and destroy you.
He's a blender.
That's what we need him.
Yeah, he's like a blender, man. Bro. He'll just chop and chop away. I want to give a shout out to Team Batman here. He says he won some money betting on Triple G to stop Murata. Hey, good stuff there, man. And a question here, and I want to get your answer to this as well, Guido. Max here in the chat asks, what would you guys like to see Ryan do next? JoJo, Tank, or another spoon-fed guy? Ooh, that's a good question. What do you think?
I would like to see him fight JoJo to see where he's at, you know? It'll be a good test for Ryan, too, you know? But I just want to say about this fight, I was kind of disappointed a little bit with Ryan because I thought with all the experience that he had with Eddie Reynoso, I think he would have got this guy a little out of there, you know? Even though the guy was in survivor mode running around the ring for his dear life, but, you know, I thought Ryan would be a little more patient and stop throwing everything fast for him, you know what I mean?
Yes.
He's just throwing everything speed, you know? Just, you know, mix it up a little bit, set some trap. Use a jab. He didn't even use his jab.
No, you're right.
I was just yelling, use the jab. He didn't use it. I don't even know why he didn't use his jab, you know? But the dude, I think he just wanted to knock this guy out so bad. He wanted to knock out the guy so bad, you know. And I guess it was like what 15,000 people in San Antonio. So
good crowd.
You know, he had a low layoff, so I guess he wanted to look so impressive. But he needs to like control that. You know what I'm saying? You know, keep hitting him more body shots. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Set up the fence instead of throwing so many speed, because then his opponent's gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Trick your opponent, you know?
Yeah.
So other than that, I think you know, it's his first fight with George Grusin, you know? So
I would really like to see the JoJo Diaz fight. And
I think it's a good fight.
I think it's a good fight too. He's a southpaw. We saw what happened last time.
That's not a guarantee for Ryan.
Yeah, we saw what happened last time Ryan was in with a good southpaw. Luke Campbell, he got caught.
Another thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, V-Funky. I did not like when he used the shoulder work. I hate that. I really do.
Yeah.
He's open for the right hand. He's open right there. So he needs to just I think I'd rather see him use his eye guard.
Me
Forget
too.
about the shoulder roll.
High
Get
guard,
rid of
or
the shoulder roll.
even kind of like a traditional stance where like Marquez almost. You got the right hand here, you got the left out in the front. You know, you can fire that jab off, fire your hooks off. Anything's better than that shoulder roll for Ryan. He's got to get out of there. You know, I agree with you 100% there.
And then when he tries to throw, you see he's a little out of balance. That's why I don't like either.
Loading up.
Like he's trying to like loading up. He's out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh no, I'd rather him just use your high guard. Just forget about the shoulder roll. That's other than that. I thought he was gonna get him out of there by the fifth round, but damn, you know. I guess this was a good learning experience, you could say, you know.
Yeah, I would say.
But hey, oh man, I thought he was gonna get. I thought, you know, he did try. At least he was really looking for the knockout.
I said
you gotta set traps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I said round 7. D-Style, I believe you said round 4. I mean, the odds were saying 5.5 rounds that he would get the KO. And
I mean, it's the guy didn't come to fight, though. You know, in fairness, but like
he was running.
No, I agree. Yeah. He was just he was there to survive. Like that's what he was there to do. And like he talked a big game though. And the other thing is, it's like everyone kept mentioning these great names like Zuma Nelson and Ike Corte, and man, don't mention this dude with those names. Okay, like that dude came to survive, bro. Like Ike Corte came to take De La Hoya's head off. Like, you know what I mean?
If he was just a fourth of Ike Corte, he stops Ryan Garcia tonight, I think.
No, but the problem with Ryan, though, like my problem with Ryan Garcia is, dude, okay, just because like you gotta change your method. Okay, not getting some tattoos on your chest and your back is not change. Like right. Ooh, you got some tattoos. I don't give a shit, bro. What you gotta do, okay, is start using your fucking jab. All right, and you start using the fucking fundamentals. Stop looking for the knockout. If you set up the hook, you're gonna knock guys out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it all starts with the fucking jab, bro. Like he needs somebody to just tell him use your fucking jab every fucking round.
Where's the Roger Mayweather soundbite when we need it, huh?
That was actually Senior. That was Floyd Senior.
Was it Senior? Okay, Floyd Senior. There we go. Yeah. So.
Hey, D-Star, believe me, I was yelling at the TV every round. Where's the job? I was like a coach.
He's looking for the knockout. He's looking for a home. He reminds me of like a major league batter that's just looking for the home run.
It's like home run or strike out. Yeah, you
it's
the home
like,
run
dude,
or striking out.
you know, you got to do it on third base. You could just do it single, bro. Okay,
right?
But like, Jesus Christ,
make some contact. That's all you got to do. But hey, Guido, man, we appreciate the call, man. You know, I always love your energy, brother.
I love you. You know, I love both of you guys, man. You know, you guys are something. You guys bring a lot of good things to the boxing community. You know,
that's
I
right.
really appreciate you, both of you guys. You know. You guys are the reason why I be around. Like I said, I don't be around YouTube anymore, but you guys get me hyped up after the fight post, man. You know, I'll be pumped up, you know. So,
yep, I agree, man.
All right, brother, man, you know.
All right.
Until next time, brother. All right, y'all take care.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. We got another one coming in right off the bat.
MJ.
Let's see. We got another one coming in right. All right, caller 843, you're live.
Hi, it's MJ, Riding Yogi.
Oh, hey, how are you?
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, I just wanted to follow up on this, because I know that a lot of people are saying that Ryan Garcia didn't look good, whatever. He didn't, do what everybody thought he would do. And one thing I noticed was that in the past, he's had great hand speed. And the thing I noticed tonight was he didn't seem to have that anymore. It was very limited. And basically, I just didn't find that fight very interesting.
It wasn't.
Channel.
I did too.
No.
After round 7, I stopped scoring. It was just the same thing happening every single round. And I agree with you. Like the speed, I tell you this, he's got speed, but I don't feel like he's like a closer. in baseball. We're going to continue to use baseball as like a reference here. A good closer, he'll come in, he'll throw a good fastball, maybe a cutter, 95, 98, maybe 100, but that's only good for a couple of innings. And the next thing you know, the guys are picking up on the timing of that and they're able to see it. He's got to change the speed on those punches, man, because a good fighter is going to time him.
That's what he is. He's just a pitcher that just throws fastballs, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. Another thing was I thought the second best fight of tonight, of the day actually, because I thought that Sebastian Fundora's fight was probably the best, but was Han and Meyer. And the reason I thought that was because it was amazing to see how Han kept off Meyer. Meyer is a dog. I mean, she goes after it. It was one of the best fights I think I've seen in women's boxing in a long, long time. But she was great. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but it was a really great fight. It was a bloody, blood was like flowing everywhere.
Wow. D-Style, you can comment on that.
On Han. Well, the blood was on Han for sure. But she was blooded up in a couple of those rounds. So there was that. I think, in my opinion, I think it was the first round, Han hit her like I forgot it was a straight or a jab, and I believe that's what cut. It was a really small cut on Mayer, and then Mayer landed her head like on the cheek of Han, and the commentators were saying like, "Oh, that's what caused it." I mean, how the hell is a cheek gonna cut like this part? Like the temple was like a lot harder than the cheekbone, But yeah. I mean, I think Han did good, but I just think Mayer was just that one step ahead of her that whole fight.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to check it out. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just think no, it's fine. I just think that Mayer is going to be a step ahead of a lot of these fighters on that level. I think when she gets up, I think that she and Baumgartner is going to be very interesting to watch.
Yes.
I think they're going to have a lot of fire together because I think they are on the same level and they have the dog in them, both of them.
Well, Baumgartner has power, and I think that's where it's going to get interesting. But there's one thing that Mayer said. I want your thoughts on this. After the fight, she said she feels she would have gotten it because she did hurt Han a couple of times, and then she ran out of time. And she said, "You know what? If I had 3 minutes every round, I would get more stoppages."
Absolutely.
And she said, I want more minutes. I want 3-minute rounds. Well, what did you think of that? And do you agree with her?
Absolutely agree with her. I think that it's absolutely crazy. People are saying, well, women's brains are, can be hurt a lot more, but we have such great technology and neuroplasticity in boxing now that we're monitoring every little thing. Rules are being absolutely, they're better than they've ever been. So the fact that women have 2 minutes instead of 3 means that women's boxing is never going to be as good or as respected as men's boxing because they're not doing the same things. 3-minute rounds means you can set up for a knockout. And Meyer is right. I mean, she is the knockout queen. She's had 5 knockouts out of 19 fights, right?
Something like that, yeah.
That doesn't it doesn't seem like it's a big thing, but in women's boxing, that is a big thing because they don't have enough time to set it up. So I absolutely agree with that.
All right, yeah. I don't have an opinion on the fight because I didn't get a chance to see it yet. I wanted to go live before it got too late. So much boxing on today, but did you happen to see if you want to leave one more on another fight that we had at Triple G, Murata or Fundora Lubin before we go on to the next call? You can go ahead and give your thoughts on any of those fights as well.
Sure. So GGG, Triple G did exactly what I thought he would do, and he's exactly what he's exactly what we think he's going to be at 40 years old. Unfortunately, Father Time catches up with everyone, and I saw a lot of slowness tonight or this morning. But I mean, he's still champion, and he's still a lion, but he's a lion in winter. You know what I mean? He's not a lion in summer. He's a lion in winter. So he's not in his prime anymore. We're gonna see. You know what I mean? We're gonna see him.
Yogi, is he like the lion that's only lived at the zoo now, and not in the wild?
Oh man.
You know, I don't know, but I mean, he's absolutely a phenomenal fighter. I think that he'll go down in history as one of the best in that division.
Yeah, he can put his name in there. I mean, 2-time unified champion at middleweight, definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. He's he's not the same guy, but he's still pretty damn good, I think, And,
and that's what I mean by lion in winter, is that he's not lion in summer. He's totally different than what he was when he was in his prime. But he's still so great that he can still take on somebody like Murata and still do a great job. And I mean, I think with Lubin and Fundora, we're seeing something that's very interesting, which is that Lubin is a great fighter. He really is. I think that people are kind of saying, oh, well, you have Fundora just has some skills. He's got some inside fighting skills you don't see with somebody with an 80-inch
reach. Yeah.
reach. You know what I mean? He's somebody that's different. He's doing something a little bit different.
He's like Mr. Fantastic, right? Like
throws people off.
That's a good way to put it, Mr. Fantastic. That was beautiful.
Oh. He's amazing. But I mean, guys, he is amazing. Fundora is amazing in the sense that he is so unusual for that size. I do wish he would mix it up a bit, though, and I've said this, a few times, but he could actually do a lot of the stuff that Vitaly Klitschko was very good at, which is keeping back and kind of, you know what I mean? Like, he had that reach, and he also could keep out of people's way. His chin is good, but at the same time, when you get up and you start fighting people like Charlo, it's going to be different than fighting somebody like,
good point. Good point. Because I hadn't seen him really crack yet. And he's been in some fights, some wars, and I hadn't seen him crack yet. But this was a fight right here where an opportunity to get a shot at the belt was on the line. And, he goes down, but he gets up, continues to fight hard. But, yeah, you're right. When you get to this level, you got to be a little more responsible, because
you got to be like,
going to make you pay,
right.
I just want to make this quick point before she goes, and I want your take on this too, G Funky, but and the chat, like what happened late in that fight. And by the way, in his last fight, he took a lot of punishment. In this fight, he took a lot of big shots, right? And then he was actually hurt this time, and he had to take a knee to make sure where he got out of that round, right? To me, that's like, I picture like this fortress, right? Like a dam. That dam has a crack now. Okay, and water's starting to kind of drip out of it now.
Yeah.
What happens when a Charlo or even a Castana starts hitting that dam, hitting it again, and eventually that dam's gonna, just like it happened to Williams when he got knocked out by Martinez. At some point, he's not gonna be able to take those punches anymore. Like,
right.
People should enjoy Fundora for now, because if he doesn't change his ways, the way he fights, he's not gonna be a star. He's gonna be a shooting star. So enjoy him while he's here, because he can't take that forever.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely, Eric. And I think that the thing that really kills me about him is that any coach worth his salt is going to tell him to mix it up. They're going to use that inside and outside. He is primed to be a great fighter if somebody could just teach him how to use an inside-outside defensive stance. You can be offensive on the inside and then pull back. There's been very few fighters who've been really good at that, unfortunately, but he could actually do that because he's so natural on the inside. But that could also be to his detriment, that he's so good at that style of fighting that he can't learn anything else.
Yeah, maybe he is what he is. I mean, he's young enough to make some changes, but it's going to have to start now. He's got an opportunity to get at the winner of the undisputed match that we're going to have in that division next month. And it's got to happen not not tomorrow, not the next day, but now. He's in there. He's in the mix of things, and it's got to happen now. And I want to thank you for the call. Great call. And hopefully you call back again. I'm gonna be trying to do these every Saturday night after the fight. So thank you for your call and your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, G Funky. Thanks,
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night. That was a great call there, man. Really
Riding
great call.
Yogi.
Yeah. So again, guys, the phone number is on the screen. I'm taking one call at a time. So if you hear me on with somebody, call back when they're done.
And by the way, as much as I'm talking about Fundora, like the beating Lubin took, and I actually just tweeted out, like, does anybody have an update on Lubin, right? Because I think it's gonna be okay, but sometimes you never know. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when Buddy McGirt stopped the fight with Dadashev, right?
Yeah.
And it was responsive. He was like, no. He was like, no, I'm gonna stop it. Like, no, he even argued with him. Now Lubin wasn't that bad, like where he's sitting in the corner like that or stuff. But they did escort him out. They did the right thing. They didn't keep him around to interview him and like all that. Like now you got to get him out of there, right? So the commissions have been getting better at that. But I hope the guy's all right. Like first and foremost, I hope he's okay. And we still got to start wondering, like, is he going to be okay? Because he took a beating in this fight.
Yeah, he sure did, man. But man, he kept a licking. I mean, licking and kept on ticking. And,
I gotta tell you, man, like he found this energy from I don't know where to hurt Fundora late, and I was like, you gotta take him out now. Yeah, like the windows closing. Those movies when the garage is closing and Fundora just like boom, he's like rolled right under that, like right on time. You know what I mean? And he left Lubin on the other side. Poof, I'm good. Because after that, it started to get like that last round was like uncomfortable to watch, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? It was like, well, okay, you know what? I don't know if you should be taking this beating right now, at this point. So just saying.
Yep. Now that we're in between calls, I want to ask you, this morning when I did the call-in show for the Triple G Murata fight, you had some things to say about Charlo possibly fighting Murata. I want to hear your thoughts on that right now, since I got you live.
Well, I think I said Charlo against Triple G.
Oh yeah.
I would like to see. I think Murata at this point, I want to see the champions fight each other. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even if Triple G moves up and loses to Canelo, I still think he keeps the titles. Right? It's not at 116. So at that point, he should unify. I think. But. Unfortunately, I don't know those fights are going to happen, though, because I think win, lose, or draw, I have a feeling he's going to retire after the Canelo fight.
Maybe, depending on how that fight goes. But
the thing with Charlo, though, bro, like, have you seen a Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Have you seen a Cowardly Lion?
Yes, I have.
Like that's I'm just saying, like I'm just saying, like he's Scar and like Mufasa's like Jamal. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like it's I don't know what's going on with Jamal. Jamal needs to like make some moves, bro. Suleki isn't doing it for me. It just doesn't.
No, it's not.
And like, but I mean, he could fight Murata, but what's he gonna do? Beat the guy that Triple G already beat? I mean, I guess he's doing it with Suleki anyway, right? Like, he's fighting the guy that Andrade already beat. But then he's telling people Andrade's not worthy to fight him. Like,
right?
Well, he's fighting the dude he beat.
And I don't know why a guy like Charlo wouldn't go and fight Murata in Japan. Like, he's a big name over there. Can make some good money, and you could be a unified
this is
champion,
where he let someone else take his shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when I was here on YouTube saying, yo, Mayweather, move up and fight Martinez. Like, that dude is like a sitting duck right now, right? Like he got his knee hurt against Chavez Jr., and then I think he got a gift decision against Murray, right? Over there in Argentina. And I said, he's the middleweight champion. I think it's a perfect fight for Mayweather. But then what happened? Cotto took the fight, right?
Yeah.
Cotto beat Martinez. And then Mayweather's trying to take credit for it. Like, wow, they thought this guy could beat Mayweather. No, you don't get no credit for this, right? Jamal should have made that. He should have gone to fucking Japan. All right?
Yeah. Why
not?
Go
to Japan, beat Murata, you unify a fucking title, right? But he didn't do it. Triple G did it at 48 years old. Okay,
and that's the funny thing I hear about. Like I'm hearing the guys the Charlo guys that is who Bum Lofkin is bashing bums again. Well, look, that bum had a belt, a real belt at 160 pounds. Go get it. Now you got some clout on your side. Look, I'm a unified champion at 160. And you could have made a good amount of money again. Look at all those people that were there for that fight.
I'll be honest with you right now. I would favor Andrade in a fight with Triple G right now. I would.
Me too.
Charlo, I'm not sure. Because I saw how he looked against Molina. We're going to see how he looks against Sulecki. But...
Montiel, you mean?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Against Montiel, right? And then we're going to see how he looks against Sulecki. Just saying.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike from Boston here. Says Munguia is not on Triple G's level. Now, I don't think so either. I don't think he's quite there yet. Mario P is here, the GOAT, man, a great subscriber here to HCP. Says GGG needs to stop ducking Charlo. I mean, hey, I'm all for the fight, man. I'm all for it, and I think it's a good fight. I think it's a really good
The thing is that we know what Golovkin's doing next, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The only thing that could derail it is if Bivol beats Canelo. Then I don't know what happens with Gennady Golovkin. I would still like to see it. Like if Bivol beats Canelo, right? I'm still down for Canelo Triple G at 168. Like he could just go back down to 168. I don't think Bivol's gonna win, but I think it's possible, right? But I just think more likely we're gonna get Canelo against Bivol. I'm sorry, Canelo against Triple G. And at this point, I mean, Jamal's got to do what he's got to do. Like, if there's a vacant belt there, that if Andrade's moving up and there's a vacant belt, do everything in your power to try to get that fight and unify against somebody. You know what I mean?
I agree. We got
or move up and fight Benavidez.
Troy Graham on the line. What's good, man?
Hey, man. And the name you were struggling with, the cowardly line from the Wiz, not the Wizard of Oz, is Fleetwood Coupe de Ville. That's his name, Fleetwood Coupe de Ville. All right.
Oh, that's that Quincy Jones joint, right, from the '70s with Michael Jackson and Diane Ross, right?
Everybody was in there. Lena Horne, a lot of good people.
Classic.
Now, I was trying to keep up with what you were talking about when they went from Triple G to Charlo. I mean,
whatever you want to talk about, brother.
About the Lubin fight.
Sure, let's talk about that one.
I didn't see the whole fight. I saw the highlights. I so wanted that young man to win because I figured, he had some growth over time and he was really putting the work in, which he did. But sometimes you run into someone who's been working just as hard as you or harder, and you catch a bad break because he caught a nasty uppercut again, and immediately his people stepped in and said, "Nope, that's it, fight over." But I don't think it was that one punch. It was the punches that occurred throughout the 9 rounds, because I haven't seen the whole thing yet. So maybe you could fill me in.
Yeah, it was an accumulation. But he was hurt. He was saved by the bell for sure in the second.
Okay.
Yeah, both guys went down. Lubin down in the second, Fundora down in the 7th, and both were late in the round, and both were really hurt.
Right.
Both are really, really hurt. And if there was more time, who knows if they might have survived or not. But a good thing is that, Lubin did survive early, and we got a really good fight out of it. And he fought his heart out, man. But he got caught up in the blender, man. That's what happened.
I tell you what you have now. You have a rivalry. So hopefully there will be a rematch. Because that's what boxing needs, a good old-fashioned rivalry right now. He took the first one. Maybe Lubin will take the second one,
You never know. Never know, yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. It's a fight of the year candidate, so.
Yes,
but the thing is, I don't know if it will be any, unless Lubin, because Cunningham kept telling him, bend those knees, start from the body, go upstairs. And it sounds good because I said the same thing in my pre-fight. But, doing it when a dude is throwing 80 punches around at you is a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think Lubin was trying, but I think it was just he never had a moment in that fight And when you watch, you'll see he never had a moment to just breathe. Like he didn't let him breathe. He didn't let him stop and think for a moment. You know, that's what Fundora did.
Yeah, he was all over him like a cheap
well,
suit.
he sounds like a pressure fighter to me.
Yeah.
The other guys are pressure fighter, right?
Pressure, volume. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, to be honest with you, you keep that jab out there and you slide. You keep the jab out there, slide, and every now and then you throw, let them taste a right hand and a hook to the body, slide. That's how you slow them down.
Yeah.
That's how you don't want to go all out with them, but you do want to remind them, look, you're not going to walk over me. So you keep that jab, you fake left, fake right, have them thinking a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could drop the right hand, you could sneak the right hand in there, or you could throw like a lead right hook sometimes. It'll slow him down. So now he's not throwing 80 punches, he's throwing 60. Then he goes to 50, then he goes to 40. That's when you can start landing your punches. You know?
Yeah. It was one of those fights where you see, because Lubin is a very good counterpuncher, and look, he was able to get some really good shots in between those combinations that Fundora was throwing, but it was just too much. It was just Fundora's just pop, 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 one hard one, pop, 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 maybe two hard ones, and then out of nowhere you would see bang, bang from Lubin, land a nice big shot here and there, but it was just too much, too many, and uppercuts.
He was trying to trade with him.
Whew, yeah,
he was trying to trade with him. Right? That's what it was.
Well, I think it was.
Troy. Go ahead.
I think it was more like he was trying to weather like a storm and wait for his turn, right? So he wasn't punching with him really. So he was waiting for Fundora to kind of throw shots, and then he would throw, right? The problem Lubin had is that he got a little too aggressive in the second round for my liking, and he paid for it. He got hit with an uppercut, and he survived the round, and then he spent the next 2 rounds trying to recover, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he exerted so much energy doing that it energy's fight night. So there's only so much of it you have. And he gave up at least half of it just in those 2 rounds. And he ran out of it. Like by the 8th round, he was out of gas.
So many uppercuts, Troy. I mean, I've never seen a guy get hit with this many uppercuts in a fight. It was a death by 1,000 uppercuts. It was bad.
Yeah, it sounded like he was trying to fight with a fighter. That's what it sounds like to me. He was trying to fight with a fighter.
He was swollen right here, like in the forehead, like right above the bridge of the nose. He was swollen from the uppercuts that he was shooting through the middle of that guard.
Right. Well, go watch Bert Cooper versus Holyfield. You want to see? you want to see? That's a fight where a fighter just kept eating uppercuts to the point where his glove tore.
I'm very surprised how upright Lubin fought this fight. Like he was very upright. I thought he would bend at the waist a little more, and he didn't. And you would I don't get it. You would thought he would have bent his knees a little bit, and he didn't. And Cunningham was telling him to do it, but maybe he didn't have the energy for it. Maybe whatever it was, he just couldn't do it in that fight.
Yeah, and another thing I think that disrupted Lubin was that this is a southpaw versus southpaw matchup.
Don't say Ruben too loud on this show.
And his best punch is a right hook because he's naturally a righty. So he has his power hand in the front. So it comes at a different angle, and it's a little bit harder to get that punch in there against another southpaw. So
can he switch? Does he switch?
He does not switch. No, he doesn't.
And see, that's something that as a coach should really teach him. Really, because when it helped him in this fight, most of the time when you get in there with people like that and you don't have any experience with them, you usually get dropped, you get hurt. We'll go way back. Joe Louis versus Tony. They called him 2-Ton Tony. That's all I remember. I remember his last name, right? There's no way on earth this guy should have beat Joe Louis. But because some of the things that he said that he was going to do to Joe Lewis's wife would have made the hands of stone blush, right? Foul and disrespectful, right? So Lewis came in there with just mad, right? He got dropped early, like maybe in the 4th, 5th round, and then he jumped up. And he got up around 4 or 5, and the ref was trying to hold him back, and he kind of shoved him out the way. And throughout that fight, he kept getting hurt until finally his coach kind of calmed him down. He got him back to where he needed to be, and he beat that man into a bloody mess. And that this guy could have done tonight. He could have calmed himself down. But once you get in there and everything, it's easy for me to sit here and say that, right? Because I'm not in the heat of the moment. But, you know, when you get hit and hurt a certain way, you get that Larry Holmes thing and that Tito Trinidad pride that kicks in that says, get him. Get him. and if you're not schooled enough to be patient and get him, you're gonna get schooled, which is what happened to brother tonight, man. Because a lot of times you go in there young, somebody hits you, your first response is
hit your back.
I'm gonna kill him. Yeah.
Yep. I agree, man.
It doesn't always work. But let me jump off, man, because I know we got other callers, man. But but go check out the Holyfield Burt Cooper fight. You want to see some uppercuts? My Lord, man.
Smoking Burt Cooper, man.
Wow.
That was one of my dad's favorite heavyweights back in the day, man. So we'll definitely go back and check that out for sure, man. But thanks for the call, Troy. Good to hear from you as always, man.
Thank you. And just real quick, somewhere down the line. Hello?
Yes, we're here.
Nope. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was off. Me and Bruce Goals are gonna get together and do a fight review. Angel is an old fight. Angel Manfredi or Jorge Paez, two of my favorite fighters.
Ooh, yeah.
We're gonna call it, El Diablo versus the Clown. Yeah, it's gonna be good because Bruce's page is smooth with the jazz playing.
Yeah,
and I'll come on and all that stuff. And matter of fact, I'm gonna call Angel Manfredi, see if he wants to come on that show, man.
That'd be nice, man. That'd be nice. So
yeah, that's great.
I'll definitely look forward to that, man. So hey, thanks for the call, Troy. We appreciate you, man.
All right, man.
You have a good one. Troy Graham, guys. Again, subscribe to Troy Graham here on YouTube. He's got a channel, does interviews and good stuff as always. Let's read some of these comments here. I'm gonna go back up. Let's start with right here. My man Mario P says Triple G don't want the WBC belt. Why? What is he afraid of? Well, I mean, I guess we could say the same for Charlo. I mean, he doesn't want the IBF or the WBA. He could be 3-belt unified, Stefan said Triple G looked easy to hit. I think Canelo is going to clean him up. I mean, I wouldn't say he was like no defense at all, but like I feel like some people, not that you're doing this, Stefan, but I feel like some people are kind of over exaggerating the punches he was getting. Golovkin gets hit all the time, I didn't really find it that big of a problem. Let's see, Charlo fights every other year. He ain't gonna fight Triple G before he retires. No Paul says Golovkin is best known for his draw versus Canelo. Maybe. Let's see, Triple G's fight is unacceptable for Canelo. Cannon fought at this point. Okay, I think I kind of get what you're saying.
So it's like this though, right? Like, let's say he is. Let's just hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bivol fight's a good fight.
It is.
So he's going to give us Bivol, and if 3 months later he fights Golovkin, is it that big of a deal? Like, if it was just Canelo, hey guys, he's going to fight Golovkin in September, and there was no Bivol fight, I think I would probably agree with a lot of people. Like I would be like really, it's going to be Golovkin, that's it. But he's doing the Bivol fight,
right?
Like so it's like, it is what it is. And then I believe he's going to fight again in December. So,
and we don't even know who that is if he beats Golovkin, which is more than likely going to happen. But we don't know. So it could be anybody in December.
I mean, I'm pretty confident he's going to beat Golovkin, but because I do think. I'm not going to say Golovkin looked terrible, but he doesn't look like vintage 2016 Golovkin. You know what I mean? Like 2017, 2018 Golovkin. He just doesn't.
No, I don't expect anyone at 40, to look the same as they did when they were 35, 36. But I still think he looked damn good. That fucking jab is still dynamite.
Like, what? Hook is the word I'll use? He looked solid.
Yeah,
like he looked solid in there. Like he looked solid. He looked capable, and he looked, to me, you could probably argue he's the best middleweight in the world right now. Like who's better than
Yeah.
him? Are you gonna say Charlo or what? What has Charlo really done? Like Andrade's moved up from what I hear. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that just because he's gonna fight at 160, it doesn't mean he won't come back down. But I don't know if he's gonna go back down to 160. So
Yeah.
you got to go
Who
with
knows?
Golovkin. He's the only unified guy.
Yep. Guys, numbers on the screen 916-572-1020 if you want to call in and talk to the HCP crew, G Funky, D Style Boxing, any of the fights you want to talk about that happened today. Triple G, Murata, Fundora, Lubin, Garcia, Tagoe, or if you want to talk about the Mayor Han fight, all of them, pick one. We'll take one more call.
I have a call. I don't know if you saw this fight, but did you see the Marlene Esparza fight?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And man, I apologize, but I forgot the name of the Japanese girl. She's 45 years old. When they said she was 45, I was like, "What?
Yeah,
45? Like, holy shit!" I was impressed once I heard she was 45. For a moment, I was, but I want to say this though. I don't know if it's just me, but like the Sulem fight, her previous fight, and this fight, I don't think any of them were that close. Like they were competitive, but they weren't like razor close. Like, oh my God, I don't know who's going to win this fight. Like, I felt like Marlene was clearly winning this fight, and in very competitive rounds. But I don't think she was getting hit flush that much at all. I think she was the one landing the flush punches. I'm not taking away anything from her opponent. She did win some rounds. I think that one scorecard that gave her no rounds was stupid. Yeah. But I scored at 7-3. I had the Sulem fight wide, and I had a previous fight wide. But I'm seeing people every fight. Like I'm seeing people like have it close, or some people had it Sulem winning, and I'm like, well, what is it about Marlene that like people just don't like her, bro? I don't know what it is.
I think it's just the way that she fights. A lot of people don't appreciate boxers that move.
And does it help? Like. Here's the part that kind of annoyed me. And look, I'm a huge fan of Sinisa Estrada. In my opinion, I mean, she's the best out there for the women. That's my opinion, right? Pound for pound. Skill-wise, right? Maybe not accomplishment-wise, but skill-wise. But I think she should use a jab more, but that's a different story, okay? But when you're there to call a fight, you have to put your personal feelings to the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, she didn't do that. She was taking shots. Okay.
Yes, she was.
Like that, she was taking shots, and somebody say, "Hey, well, I found that entertaining." Yeah, but that's not. She's gonna have months. Like after the fight, you can talk all the shit you want. During the fight, call the fight. Like I don't like.
You got to do your job.
I didn't feel it was professional for her. I just got to be honest. Now I'll keep it real. The rematch, I have Sinisa Estrada beating her. Right? I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real, but you got to do your job, man. But here's the other thing. What annoyed me was this. I forget the name of the other dude, but him and Sinisa were both saying, "Yeah, she's winning the rounds right now. I feel she's edging out every round." And then Manic's like, "I don't know. I think it's a lot closer." And Mora saying the same thing. And then like Manic's card has it a draw, and now they're talking about like it's a draw, and I'm like so far in the card, I'm like. Sinisa was just saying she's giving every round to Esparza, and now because Mannix has it even, now they're all talking like it's an even fight. This is crazy to me, bro.
Yeah.
But I just don't think, bro, if she was getting hit that much, her face would have been marked up, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I don't think she fought, like, how many times was Sinisa going to say this? Like, she was... All her compliments were backhanded compliments, and then she was throwing shots, right? And she's like, I just think she's being overly aggressive. Like, was she? I don't think she was being overly aggressive at all. She was fighting on the inside, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And then the other thing was this, right? She kept saying this. I don't know if you caught it. I don't think she, if she fought smarter and, from a distance, she could make this a lot easier for herself. But then again, I don't know if she has the stamina to do that for 10 rounds. Like, so you're telling her she should do something, but then you're saying, but I don't know if she could do it though. She's not as good as me. That's the sense I got, like the whole fight, You know, that's just me.
For sure, for sure. And look, I have the same kind of questions that you are here as well, Troy. Like he's fighting Bivol 175. If he beats him, he's gonna be a lightweight champion, light heavyweight champion. Then he's gonna have to move down to 168, I guess, to fight Triple G because Triple G ain't going to 175. So we just got to wait and see how it plays out. Jesus M here says, "Can't believe Rosado lost to Mosley Jr." Look,
I saw that
Mosley
fight.
Jr. is. Look, man.
Mosley Jr.'s like take away Shane Mosley's like power, his explosiveness and speed, and you got Shane Mosley Jr.
That's Shane Mosley Jr. He's not
Make him a little taller, and you got Shane Mosley Jr.
He don't got it, man. I'm sorry. And he
beat Rosado though. That's a good win. He did beat him. He beat him like pretty good. I think he beat him better. I'm gonna say something controversial. I think he beat him better than Munguia did. I think it was a more decisive win.
For me, my opinion on Shane Mosley Jr. is I don't see a world champion in him.
Oh no, I agree with that.
Now tonight he won the WBA Intercontinental WBC the WBA Intercontinental WCW television title.
Yo, they got intercontinental championships in boxing now. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like what the hell is going on over here? Like what
he's
the
IC champ now, and look, that's what I see in him. He's one of
mark
those.
Mark my
guys,
words, brother.
you know?
They're gonna use a universal champion at one point in boxing. They're gonna be like, hey, WWE does it. So let's go ahead and introduce the universal title. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah. Roddy Yogi says defensive fighters are not appreciated because it's not exciting. I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I appreciate defensive fighters. I know a lot of people don't, but you know, I think it's a hell of a thing to do in the professional ranks to make another professional miss a majority of his punches in a fight. Like that's just not easy to do, you know, regardless of how they do it. It's just not an easy thing to do. But I mean, that's just my take on it. I know there's a lot of people that like the action-packed fights, like what we saw with Fundora and Lubin tonight. And look, I like those fights too. I'm not saying I don't like them, but you know, I appreciate a lot of all forms of boxing except for Klitschko. I've never been a fan of that.
Vladimir? I mean, I didn't mind him, but Vitaly was good.
Yeah.
But did you see dude? I can't get over Sinisa's attitude, bro. Like, you know, I mean, we know she can't punch, so yo, what is this? What's going on right now? Like, you know, it's. I mean, don't get me. I love the trash talk. I don't think during the fight when you're a commentator, when you're the expert analyst, right? I don't think that's the time you should bring that up. You know, bro, I've heard dudes that were rivals, be professional during the fight and call it the same. Tito Ortiz was calling a Ken Shamrock fight when they were rivals, and he stayed professional during the fight when he called the chemo fight with Ken Shamrock. I seen it, you know. De La Hoya, I believe, was on some fights that he stayed professional with guys he was going to fight. Vargas was professional when he was commentating fights with they just at that. That's not the time to do it. You know, that's it. I still love Sinisa Estrada. I think she's an amazing fighter, but she doesn't do that for any other fight. I think she did great in the Ryan Garcia fight. But in this fight, she couldn't put her emotions in check. You know, I know you don't like her, but you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. You got to do your job and you got to do it in a professional manner, you know, and the shots, just too many, you know, during the live broadcast. I agree. We're getting ready to wrap this one up, guys, but D-Style, I know you got some new plans for the HCP network and the schedule. While we got people here and those listening on archive, let them know what's going on, man.
Well, first of all, you can find my channel, youtube.com/HCP Boxing Network. You can also, or just search D-Style Boxing, and my channel will come up. Look, just go. You guys could Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to do the roundtable aftermath. So we're going to be talking about the weekend fights. I'm going to bring a panel on and news as well, like the news that's come out, and then just to see how everything, you know, transpires, and we'll have a conversation about that. So, and of course, HCP 101, you know, not, you know, so I'm getting ready for that. So tune in.
That's right. And we got a big fight coming up this weekend.
That's right.
Spence versus Ugas, 3-belt unification
Whew.
happening in the welterweight division. You guys know I've been hard on those welterweights. I've been calling them the welterweights because they've been waiting around to fight each other. But now we got 3 belts on the line coming up here this Saturday, and what I think is a fantastic matchup: Earl Spence versus your Dennis Ugas. Both guys fight out of the high guard. Both guys like to use a good jab. Open stance, opposite stance, southpaw, orthodox. Great fight, man. I might think about actually doing a live prediction breakdown and open up the phone lines, get your guys' thoughts, whether you agree with me, disagree with me. But I think that's a fantastic matchup.
Whoever wants my official prediction for that fight, tune into ATP 101. But I will say this, man. One thing for everybody to think about is the big X factor, the eye of Spence. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he's gonna be fighting a right-handed guy who loops. He could throw it straight. He could loop the right hand. And I just don't know if we just don't know. That's a big X factor, right? So we're gonna have to factor that in when we talk about it. But I will say this: it's a great fight, and I'm also looking forward to seeing Isaac Cruz knock out Gamboa. That will happen.
Poor Gamboa, man. Pobrecito, man. But
Gamboa's like the piñata of like the lightweight division, or what? Like just passing him around. Like, what's going on over here, bro? And then Gamboa's like, when I win, I want my rematch with Tank. Like, bro, sit down, bro.
Yeah, man. It's tough seeing Gamboa go down this road because he was an exciting featherweight when he first came here to the United States. But it is what it is, man. He's making good paydays for himself. So, hey, credit to him for that. Got to make a living, got to eat, got to support your family. And we'll see what he's got left against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. But this is a fun show. I want to thank everyone that called in. The boxing historian, Lion Killer, Riding Yogi, Troy Graham, Guido, all great calls, guys. Don't be afraid to call in and talk to us, guys. All right. I know sometimes you don't want to click the link if I drop the link and you don't want to come on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But you can make a phone call and talk to us, man. Real simple. Super Funk Master G is here, man. This guy's been subscribed to me a long time. He says, damn, I missed the live chat. Yay, man. Next time, man. Again, every post fight, I'm trying to do a call-in show. So make sure that you don't miss it, man. Turn on those notifications, man. The next live might be midweek. I might be doing a live breakdown for the Spence Ugas,
All I got to say, man, with the way the schedule looks, we're going to need like our boxing version of like the red zone, like the NFL does.
Right.
Goddamn, bro. Like I managed to do it, but I still got to go back and watch some of these fights because I didn't really watch it. Like I watched them and I know the results and I got kind of for the most part, but a lot of these fights I couldn't I just couldn't watch them.
Riding Yogi's asking us, hey, you got to tune in. I'm thinking about going live and talking with the subscribers and taking calls for that prediction, or I might just drop a video. It all depends on how things are going here. I just had a baby, so my schedule's a little up and down. Nighttime is usually the right time for me. Shout out to Ray Charles. All right. When the kids are asleep. But around this time is when I'm usually free. So we'll see. But be on the lookout for that. And again, make sure you tune in to HCP 101 on D-Style Boxing channel to get his prediction for that fight. And make sure you tune into the Roundtable Aftermath. That's going to be a great show, guys. All right. So for my man D-Style Boxing, this is G Funky, and we're out, guys. We'll see you